Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special GameCola podcast. This is podcast number 42, and here with us are the members of the Turnabout Musical.
Hi, I'm Paul Franzen, I'm the editor-in-chief of GameCola.
Hi, I'm Mike Ridgaway, the resident troll of GameCola.
Hello, I'm Michael Gray. I'm GameCola's Phoenix Wright person, I guess, next to Paul.
Hi, I'm Lucia Lobosvilla. I guess you could say I am also Turnabout Musical's Phoenix Wright person, although we're all Turnabout Musical's Phoenix Wright person. Next to Try, I suppose. I am the head of the musical, voice actor of Maya Fey, and the voice director.
Hi, I'm Maxwell's Demon. I am just the art director, and I have a funny voice.
I'm Triforce Spun. I do the role of Phoenix Wright.
Hi, Tom Laflin.
He also composed all the songs, Try.
Yeah, he also.
I wrote some music.
Oh, yeah, right.
I forgot about that.
Hi, can I go now?
Yeah, go
No, you can't. You're gonna have to stop right there. No offense.
Yeah.
Take a seat over there, Von
darn.
Carlo.
I was so
Take a seat
And
over
go.
Okay. I'm Tom Laflin. I play Manfred von Karma, and I also write some of the script.
Hi, I'm Isabella Reagan. I'm the character designer for the musical and one of the lead animators.
Hey, I'm Amy Williams. I am voice of Maggie Bird and head of the coloring department for the animation.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Shinken Rui. I'm assistant director of Turnabout Musical, and I play Gumshoe.
Hello, I am Mystery Matt. I am the voice of the very roughly Miles Edgeworth, help out with the editing, and I'm the resident janitor, if you believe Pleady.
Always cleaning up our messes.
How he wound up janitor and I wound up assistant director, we'll never know, pal.
Well, because Maya's in charge. What do you think?
Yeah,
It's
but
because
Edgeworth
Edgeworth
is the
keeps
Steel
beating her.
Samurai fan.
Well, yeah, Edgeworth keeps beating her whenever they play Steel Samurai versus Capcom.
I would like to play that.
So she was like, that's it.
Available in stores, 2011.
And Edgeworth's just no fun to play with, because he's always complaining about how they never include Mega Man or the Evil Magistrate. And Maya's like, you know what, why can't you just enjoy games?
No, I think that game got canceled.
It got pushed back to third quarter 2012.
Classic Capcom.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's Capcom.
That's me.
So there's a question.
So Jetty, what's going on?
What is going on?
There's a question.
He said, what's going on?
I know
We
there's
have
a question
questions.
for Paul in specific.
What's going on?
That is right, we do have questions.
I know.
Oh, what?
They might-
Wait, what?
No.
But first, I think the musical folks should talk about their project a little bit, explain what it is to anyone who doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, what is Turnabout Musical?
I think Try should try to stumble over an explanation before we all
That
jump
would
in.
be
What are you talking about, Try?
All right, I'll attempt this. Turnabout Musical started in 2007, I believe, late 2007, as just this. Basically, there's a thread on the Court Records forums, which is a pretty major Ace Attorney fan site, and people just kind of started jumping into the idea and submitting songs and things. Like, for instance, I wrote a couple of songs and just put them on Putfile or something. And said, okay, here's the lyrics to these, and people would just submit things like that, and eventually it pretty much blossomed into a very large scale collaborative musical project, and it's still being worked on today, I guess. Did I miss anything there? Kind of it in a nutshell, I guess.
You missed the part where I am in charge of everything.
Yeah, Joel's in charge of everything.
What?
All right.
Hey, I walked away to get a drink of water, and all of a sudden there's been some coup.
And I get half his paycheck.
That's how it works with Turnabout Musical, pal.
Wait, you guys
You got like a revolving chair.
Lucky
thing.
at least you get paid.
Guys,
Gosh.
all right, if you're going to say I'm not in charge anymore, then I say Try should be in charge. But of course, as Yoda tells us, do or do not, there is no Try. So if there is no Try, therefore I default back to being the leader again. Thank you.
The funny part is
That was very eloquently put.
Props for it, too. That was
the funny
clever.
part is that Turnabout Musical has gone through like 3 different leaders.
Guys, don't get rid of me. I love you,
But
baby.
Pleady's the best.
I bet you
He's the
say
one-
that to all your leaders.
Can we?
No, yes.
Wait, that's...
I think a really big thing about this project is that, for one, Capcom it does have kind of a reputation for being very kind towards their fan projects. And so, even though they're aware of us, and we've had this kind of tentative licensing thing kind of going on with them for a long time, we're not sure what's going on, they haven't given us a cease and desist, tried to close us down or anything, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think what's really awesome is that this fan game's been able to go on so long, despite us never asking, or fan musical based on a game, sorry, without asking for donations or anyone getting paid for anything. Everyone pretty much works on this musical just because we love it so much, even when we hate it.
Yeah.
And that's really something that really kind of amazes me. There's some days I don't even believe this thing exists because everyone puts so much hard work into it, and just because we love it, and for no other reason really.
Yeah.
And because I yell at them to do it.
That is also a big factor.
Shut up,
Yeah,
Tom!
she does
What do you
keep us in
know?
line.
That actually
Oh,
sounds a
he's
lot
a-
like GameCola.
I was gonna say.
We here at
Yelling- the
GameCola
yelling
can
part,
appreciate
anyway.
doing something even though you hate it. Paul.
Every time someone tries to quit GameCola or Turnabout Musical, you just have to go, love, what about love? You never mention love. The timing's bad, I know. Get everyone back on it, just guilt them into getting back on the project.
Oh, see, I just use threats usually. I find that's enough.
Idle
Yeah,
threats.
By threats, you mean crying.
No, she uses thinly veiled threats.
Yeah. It's all about the bodily harm.
Right.
My thinly veiled threats are, don't make Maxie send you a long email.
I know. If ever problem for any reason, and we need someone to go in there and be like, get this organized. It's, Maxie, can you say something this? And then I'll write a novel about, usually at least 1,000 words on the forums and post it up and, be very
Yeah.
in how I reply.
It's true.
It's funny
She's
when
like
Maxie
old
tries to be
English.
concise.
Yeah.
I think it scares people because it's like so old English. Most people can't read it. So they just assume she's saying she's going to mess them up. It could be a grocery list. None remain who know. But I believe there was one question in particular that Paul wanted to ask us. A very important question to the Phoenix Wright fandom dealing with shipping.
Whoa.
Yes, I would like to know.
Oh
above
God, not again.
all, this is only the 18th time this has come up in this podcast, so I think it's important that we bring it up.
This is the podcast now. This question will take over the entire podcast.
Michael,
That's what happened.
Should we step out and let you guys work it out?
Set a
Michael.
limit
No,
of
we
the time required.
we have
Yeah.
definitive answers, so it's going to be okay.
I think it's really important that we nail down
You say that now.
who everyone thinks should get together in the Ace Attorney series, romantically. I mean,
Paul, we have an answer, and everyone here agrees. We are a very varied group because there's so many of us. We're also diverse. Many people have very different opinions. Some don't ship at all and think it's silly. Some people are passionate shippers. Some are mild shippers. And we have disagreements over, who should go with who. But there's one pairing that everybody, even the non-shippers in the musical, agrees is completely, undeniably, and inexorably canon.
Drumroll, please.
Everyone.
Larry and Francisca.
Yes, definitely Larry and Francisca, the only
Larry
true
and Francisca.
couple. Oh, and Gumshoe and Maggie.
Yes,
No,
I'm
it's
sure.
Larry back. So
Yeah, wait,
Don't shoot Maggie up.
I don't think that's even who we have with Francisca.
But
Who
that's
did you have
canon,
with
guys.
Francisca then?
Done entire
Wait.
essays about why Larry and Francisca are canon, and there's a secret ending at the end of TNT you can get.
Oh yeah,
Or
that's
maybe
right.
we made that up. But anyway, the fact is, Larry and Francisca are canon.
I thought
Have
we
they
liked,
ever met
Phoenix
in
Edge-
canon? No.
I mean, I could
No,
see
it
that.
does.
I mean, Larry's
In
a bit
canon,
of a
in
sub. So.
she agrees to be the inspiration for his children's book. We all know what that means. Hey, maybe
No, that was in
No,
the
wait, no, is
Edward
this actually
thing,
canon? Is this
and-
canon like the comic books where Edgeworth is fantasizing about Maya in the shower?
Really?
What?
That's kind of hot.
I don't remember that part.
We do have Maya and Miles shippers in the project, but I mean, as far as the Phoenix, Edgeworth, and Maya shippers go, I think there's a lot of different
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
combinations.
variants.
Yeah, we have people that ship
But it's
Phoenix and
definitely
Maya.
Phoenix Maya.
I personally cannot ship Phoenix Maya because to me, Phoenix is Try, and Try is like my little brother who's older than me.
I ship Maggie Gumshoe.
Well, that's...
Maybe it's because I'm married to Joel.
Actually, I prepared some material for this question. Maxie contacted me about this several hours ago, and we had a frank... We had a... Yes, so we had a frank discussion about other potential ships that people can agree on, and I brought up the all-important Grossberg/Lemons, to which she responded that Fleety was actually torn between that one and Grossberg/Hemorrhoids, and so I sort of took that and run with it. Perhaps the real ship here is Grossberg's Hemorrhoids/Lemons, and that is the explanation for why he's always complaining about, inflammation.
Lemons and hemorrhoids. What a
That's
fascinating...
frightening.
That's terrible.
I can get on board with that.
Guys,
Of course you can, Paul.
I think shipping Edgeworth Francisca is kind of creepy
Yeah.
because she calls him her brother, literally in the game, and it's kind of creeptastic. Besides, we all know the true Edgeworth ship is Edgeworth Forever Alone. Come on.
No, the true Edgeworth ship is Edgeworth plus anyone that's not creepy, because Edgeworth is a goddamn sexual god.
No, he's not.
He's
socially
I kind of
Oh,
agree with that
no.
comment. I'm not
In a
gonna
lot
lie.
of fan art, yes, he is.
He's sexually
That's fan
awkward
art.
and probably sexually confused. I mean, I'm not saying he's gay or
Edgeworth,
straight.
man,
Wait,
Edgeworth,
He's
it's
I'm
the
saying
shaft of the Phoenix Wright universe. That is my...
Edgeworth
that's
is not the
Dude, you
shaft
ran a
of
whole
the-
panel about how Edgeworth is forever alone.
Edgeworth
Yeah.
Flavier.
I think a lot of people think he's cool, really suave and good with the ladies. But really, when you play the games, he's really
completely awkward.
Yeah,
the thing is, the head can't
He
run away
works
with
fast because he's mother effing Edgeworth.
I'm
That's-
pretty sure if they made a sprite for it, we would see he's the master of the awkward hover hand. If he ever goes to hug someone, he's like,
Yeah, he totally is. Because he's too, think about how he was raised. First, his father dies in front of him, and he's, got horrible neuroses from that. Then he's raised under Von Karma, and, Von Karma's not very nice to him. Even when he has, father-like attributes towards Edgeworth, he's not a nice guy. I mean, even Franziska has a weird thing to her dad. And so, you wouldn't get raised normally that way. And I'm actually going to bring up a comic in a couple of seconds that I drew. But,
yeah, we had this.
Oh, no.
No, we have to
That's
show you.
canon.
It's fantastic. So, Aram, Nyes, Maxie, and I would sometimes get on Skype when talking about editing the script because it's a monstrosity. And we started coming up with theories about why Edgeworth is so sexually confused. And we came up with that it was all a ploy. Because, see, Von Karma, it wasn't enough for him to murder Gregory Edgeworth. He had to get revenge on all the Edgeworth bloodline. And so he got revenge on Gregory, and he started getting revenge on Edgeworth. But the problem was if Edgeworth had any kids, he would have to get revenge on them too. And, he's old. He's not going to be alive forever. So here is the first comic that was drawn. Aram, Maxie, and I came up with it together, and then Maxie drew it. This is Von Karma's plan to make sure that Edgeworth has no children so that he doesn't have to keep taking revenge on the Edgeworth bloodline. Give him crippling gay insecurity issues so he'll never, ever have a relationship with anyone ever.
and it's horrible because in the second one, that's my forum user pick. So when I write those long, horrible rants, you have this scary face looking at you. You'll get to it.
The Von Karma face.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I think they're best when Aram Nyes reads them. And
Oh my god.
to you in the Von Karma voice.
So I sort of feel like you're prompting me to do that, but I don't know if I can bring myself to be on record, on a podcast doing this.
Yeah, you may not want to take the risk, Tom.
Finally.
Must I?
Please, Mind Papa, please! You have to do it, Mind Papa!
Who was that?
That's our voice for young Von Karma. We also had a theory about why Von Karma is such a perfectionist, and we did a joke recording about it. And they asked me to do baby Von Karma, but I had no idea how to do young Von Karma, so I made up this voice. And later I realized that I was imitating Uter from The Simpsons. So now they're headcanon that baby Von Karma is this fat German kid who's like, "Don't make me run! I'm full of chocolate." But back to the actual.
He has bosoms.
Back to the actual musical. Actually, if you want to play it, why don't you pull up the Wife on Karma is Perfect?
Where is it? Where is it?
How do we play something from YouTube onto, I guess, how do we add this to the recording? I guess just give it to the GameCola guys.
I guess show notes, yeah.
I mean, we could always edit the, or Jetty, by we I mean Jetty, could edit the track into the, actual podcast.
Yeah.
The magic of editing. We don't know anything about that, so you're gonna have to take care of it.
That's all you.
See, our biggest problem at Turnabout Musical is that, we're all kind of silly and procrastinators, and we just like to have shenanigans, and so nothing gets done most of the time.
5 minutes of work, 5
You
hours
guys
of play.
fit in perfectly again.
Hey guys, this
Yeah,
is it.
yeah.
That's the video, that YouTube video there is Wife on Karma is Perfect, and I think you should listen to it.
You don't have to listen to it right now, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
It'll change their lives.
Oh, wait.
It's
Insert clip here in the editing room.
Oh my god, we're gonna put this in a podcast.
Intermission.
Who's? I think it was Joel.
Is it
Wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't you? Hold on, I'm stupid then.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. You jerk. Was it you? No.
Oh.
Yes.
They're listening
But
to
as soon
them, I can't hear
as soon as they're done listening to that, I'm gonna actually talk about
Oh god,
the
that
troll
thing.
word.
Oh, I hate it. So much.
I had to post that.
I like how MM doesn't like the troll Edgeworth because he's like this
Everyone
frustrated sigh.
But that's the Edgeworth that's in investigations.
MM, listen to me. MM, listen very closely. All that frustration you feel right now, I want you to take it, bottle it up, keep it deep inside of you, and save it for when you need to do voice acting for Edgeworth, okay?
Clever.
Aww.
Clever. Well done.
This is how I voice direct. Just like when I want Try to get really upset, I just poke him, and then he does a wonderful angry Phoenix. Hey, Try, I think Nintendo's stupid.
Hey!
See? Look, instantly angry Phoenix. I'm just kidding, Try. I think Nintendo's the best. Are we great friends or what?
We are.
You see?
Oh, you and your shenanigans.
Hey, the family that hates together stays together.
Also, it also works for Joel. For Joel, it's just, hey, Joel.
Huh?
You get to hang out with MM, aka Mr. Edgeworth today.
Sweet.
Which is really funny because they're like nowhere near each other. Joel's like in Colorado and MM's in Connecticut, so it's like totally legit.
But I'm everywhere all at once.
But we ran a panel together at
That's true, we
at
did.
Icon.
Oh,
man,
guys.
There
Okay,
was actually a question about that.
are any of you guys familiar with Avenue Q at all?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how in Avenue Q, well, not Turnabout Musical people, I know you know it. But
You're
you know
not
how
doing what
that
I think
song-
you're gonna do, are you, Pleady?
You know that song, If You Were Gay?
If
Joel
you
and
were
Eminem.
gay,
Our gumshoe
it'd be
actor,
okay.
and our gumshoe actor and our Edgeworth actor randomly in the car once started singing that song as Gumshoe and Edgeworth and improvising. So funny. So Joel was like, if you were gay, that'd
I
be
forgot
it.
all about that. Oh my god.
And the thing is, Joel is
Oh,
an amazing improviser. Like, he comes up with the best stuff on the fly. And so he turned around and he was like, even if you dock my pay, he was just
Yeah, I was going to say, at this juncture, it might be appropriate to let the GameCola guys set the agenda again, since they gave us one question, and we spun it into 20 minutes of only tangentially related shenanigans.
Well, you guys were prepared for a fully ramblomatic podcast, right?
Look, it was only 18 minutes. It's fine.
I like this guy.
Good.
This guy.
I was
Alex
about
Fire.
to say, if you're about to get Turnabout Musical people in a rambling podcast, I hope you're prepared for it to be like a 3-hour podcast.
At least.
Classic Turnabout Musical.
No, I want to talk. I want to talk, Paul.
Okay.
Paul, remember every single podcast that me and Paul have tried to do together about Phoenix Wright and how it ended up being a 2.5-hour podcast because we're arguing?
Yes.
When we do it, it's always about Ace Attorney investigations. Like, so...
Don't bring up investigations!
Aaron, No.
Don't bring up investigations.
We're going to go off on a tangent again if you do that.
This is too bad. There's too many people here. We can't say what we want.
Thinking of too many people being here, hi, I'm back, and for the Turnabout Musical people, I'd like to introduce game girlfriends, Vangie Ridgaway, nay Rich, just gamer girlfriend stuff, and is also, she's super huge into music. So.
Hello.
Hey, Vangie.
Welcome.
Hi.
You are so beautiful to me.
Oh, I think
They do that.
Especially Lucia. Random song all the time.
It's true. It's fun living in the same room as her. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I love you, baby.
Get away.
Now.
Anyway,
I will say, Vangie just made a good point with regards to investigations.
No, don't do it.
It can't be any worse than Apollo Justice.
Apollo Justice
is a great game.
No.
Okay, this is what I have to say about Apollo Justice. Well, I think we can all agree that Apollo Justice was not as good as the original trilogy. It was still a really good game. And I think most of the people who dislike Apollo Justice just can't get over the fact that Phoenix Wright, kind of had a downfall. But it's not like he's this bum for the whole game. If anything, I think it's his greatest turnabout yet. It's finally about him. I mean, it gave him the character development he so sorely lacked. Because in the previous trilogy, he was a protagonist. And the problem with protagonists is that they never want to give them too much of a personality because then the player can't quite relate to them.
Which was the problem with Ace Attorney Investigation.
Let's not get into this. We're talking about Apollo Justice. But Apollo Justice alone, I think Phoenix's personality, finally had a chance for some real character development. Because before then, all his character development is tied to other characters. He became an attorney for Edgeworth. He does crazy random stunts to save his friends, like run across a burning bridge for Maya or try to save Larry. He's all we really know about him is that he gets kind of cuckoo in the head when he needs to save his friends. He has a bit of a hero complex. And that's pretty much all we really know about him. And a sarcastic inner monologue. That's it. There's not really a lot of personality to him, and he kind of sticks out when you compare him to characters like Edgeworth and Maya, who are so fleshed out. And I think Apollo Justice, by freeing him of the role of protagonist and passing it on to someone else, finally gave him a chance for character development. And so seeing him when he's lost everything, been stripped of his badge, maybe his friends, we're not sure what happened, to see how he crumbles, it really brought an interesting depth to the character. And at the end, when we see him kind of turn it all around and how he's been the puppet master all along, even when he was in such a bad situation.
You're spoiling the game for anyone who hasn't played it.
Well, they should have played it. It's been
Spoiler
years.
alert.
It's been years. They should have played it by now.
Spoiler alert, he's still a drunken piano bum who has no character development whatsoever. I take issue with what Phoenix does at the ending, where it's like, well, I really should tell Apollo that Trucy is his half-sister, but I don't care about anything because I'm a drunken piano bum.
That's not what happened at all. He asked their mom specifically, do you want to tell them? And she said, when the time is right. And that makes perfect sense, considering she just got all her memory back. She's probably not quite healthy yet.
What is that his decision to make, though?
The real reason is to leave the door open for sequels to Apollo Justice, of course.
Keep in mind, the right time doesn't necessarily mean using it. It could mean next week, once you're feeling a little better after getting your memory back, It might just be that we don't know because they never made the sequel. It's not like they were sitting around laughing about it and going, yeah, we're not going to tell him that's his sister. She said, let's wait for for the right time, aka a better time. It wasn't a good time. She just gotten her memory back.
Phoenix never tells anything to Apollo ever.
But listen, if Apollo is old enough to be a lawyer, he's old enough to know the truth about his parents. Most people who are adopted, they hear about their birth parents by the time they hit 18.
No, yes, he is old enough to know about his parents. But, I think it's more a matter of Thalassa wasn't in a good place to have that conversation. He didn't have to hear it from Phoenix. It wasn't Phoenix's business to tell Apollo. It was Apollo's mother. It was her job, and she wasn't ready at that time. And I can't blame her. She's had amnesia and been in a foreign country, almost died. She's been through a lot of crap, and for her to suddenly get all her memories back, which might not even be all good memories. We don't know how great her life was. In fact, the game kind of implies that her life in Troop Grammary was not all that great. Phoenix even says she was always between you two guys. She was in danger. So I honestly think that it was more a matter of Thalassa had to get her stuff in order, and then she wanted to sit down and have a conversation with Apollo. I think that's a lot smarter than her just go tell him. I would want to hear it from my parent, not from some person.
Especially if
Let me put it this way. Phoenix is Trucy's father.
But he's not Apollo's.
He should tell Trucy. Come on.
Or they could all sit down as a family with the Lhasa and handle it the responsible way.
Random question. What relation does Phoenix have to Apollo? Because Phoenix is the father of Apollo's half-sister.
But Apollo doesn't...
him, Apollo's daddy?
No, because
Apollo's. I think that would be impossible to answer conclusively. I mean, we know
Apollo's father.
I think Apollo really looks up to Phoenix like a mentor. I think they have kind of a Dr. Cox and JD sort of relationship where Apollo wants Phoenix to be his mentor, but Phoenix is like, Bethany, get over there and do this, you know?
And for the listeners out there who don't know, that was a Scrubs reference.
Yeah, I think that's how they got that.
My point though is that Apollo as a adult who is of age has a right to know his history. And if Phoenix knows, then I think, if nothing else, he has an obligation to arrange a sit-down, you know?
But who says they weren't going to? I mean, at the end, he's talking to the Lhasa about it. That sounds to me like they wanted to. They just wanted to do it right. They didn't want to jump this. I mean, this was a delicate situation, delicate information. They wanted to do this the right way.
And he has no legal hold over anything for Apollo. He's not his father. He's not his caretaker. He's never been. He's just kind of like the guy he some sort of works with a little bit. He doesn't have a relationship with the Lhasa. He's not doing anything, you know, like he has absolutely no connection to Apollo except for the fact that Apollo wants to make that connection with him. That's the only connection he has. Phoenix has no right to do anything, legally or otherwise. Yeah, he does want to work something out with the Lhasa. That's why they had that conversation. That's why they threw that conversation into the
because they want to work out and talk to Apollo.
Here's another question for you. This is getting into philosophical terms that we may not want to do this. Do Apollo and Trucy have a right to know the truth?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Of course they do.
Absolutely.
Then
I don't think it's such a delicate situation.
Of course it's a delicate situation.
They're adults. Apollo at least is an adult. He has a right to know.
He's never known his parents, and she has to sit down and explain why she gave him away. She has to sit down and explain where she's been all this time. And you know what? This could be a traumatic thing for her too. I mean, she was shot. She lost her memory. She was shipped off.
Can I interject a question of my own real quick? Is this going to be entertaining to your listeners?
That's
very probably. The answer is yes.
To
be fair, about 80% of the people who listen to this podcast listen to it because they're Phoenix Wright fans.
Look, this is a video game. This is very serious.
It's almost as serious as the internet.
Move on.
Yeah, can we just get the listeners' questions?
Yeah,
then?
so I think our listeners had some questions to ask you guys.
No, let's do that, guys.
I think they did. Let's hear it.
Such as this one: Thalassogrammary, bad parent or worst parent?
Stop trolling!
Better question: Apollo's father, Damon Gant or Damon Gant?
GameCola listener Diana wanted to know what inspired you guys to put this project together.
Triforce Bun.
Or do you mean?
Don't look at me for an answer. I came in at the
Should I
end.
answer this?
Yeah.
I would say it was really just a love for the series and the characters and a love for musicals.
Yeah, I think with this story that the game presents, I think it translates really well to a play. You know, just because there's a lot of interesting characters, there's a lot of interesting plot lines going on, and there's not a whole lot of like a lot of video games have a lot of action, and you know obviously the Phoenix Wright series is more about the drama, and I think that that element translates to a musical really well, as well as the kind of silly stuff. So I think people realize, fans of the game realize that that connection works really well, and I think that was a big part of it when people were like, yeah, Phoenix Wright musical, that could actually work pretty well.
I think it was definitely love for the games that was the driving inspiration early, but I think the only reason it really got off the ground and made it as far as it did, like made it out of that court records thread to, our own forums and kept going for so long, is because people, for a project that started with someone just being like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if there were a Phoenix Wright musical? Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. For a project that started like that, there's been some really amazing stuff produced for it. I mean, even in the earliest days of the thread, Tri came in with frankly amazing compositions with great lyrics, and so it didn't seem like such a silly passing idea that that would be cool, but we're not actually going to do it, right? It got past that stage to the stage of this is actually happening,
and it's not going to sound like crap like some fan projects can end up being.
All too easily.
What about you, Essa? You haven't said anything
started
yet.
it, but we felt that it
Essa,
would go.
What?
What do you have to
go
say?
somewhere.
About?
The project. Why you work on the project?
Speak, child.
I work on the project because I like it.
Essa, you're adorable.
There you go.
I work on the GameCola podcast because I hate it.
Anyway, I'm gonna actually speak on this because I actually came in, and as Essa did too, we actually came into the project really late, as in like just over a year, maybe like a year and a half ago. And so a lot of like all the music was done, all the music, like the groundwork for the music and the script were done, and it was pretty much just clean up or starting recording and things like that. We came on when it was they were trying to get a highlight CD done, and actually we came on right when they were doing the art for that, and there wasn't really a clear direction for what the art team was doing. Then there was a good handful of there's a handful of very dedicated artists, but they were having trouble getting the ball rolling. And then I came in, and I'm like obsessive compulsive and karmic and crazy. I went to school for design and stuff, so I came in and I'm like, okay, well, what if we do this and this and this and this and this and this? And so after that, things kind of started getting rolling, and I talk really fast because I'm from New York, and I'm sorry. And so we did that, and from there it kind of went to, okay, well, we finished the CD, we made those printed, now what are we doing? Okay, I guess we're working on animation now. Okay, well, then what's the next step? So, like, it's been kind of like one of those things, and there are times when it gets hard, because, people have school or work or moving or marriages or whatever it is, like, that gets us snagged up. Real life kind of is a pain in the butt that way. But, that's kind of how, like, the art team even really got moving beyond that phrase that the phase that Aaron Nyes was talking about, where it's like, well, are we going to do this?
It also helped that we actually got a style in the end.
For me
when
personally,
Essa joined, we saw her style and we're like, yep, that's our style we're using.
For me personally, and I don't want to kill the
much it.
mood. I don't want to kill the mood or anything, but for me it was, I was going through a really rough time. I mean, my dad had just died, and I kind of needed a new place to live, and stuff was a mess. And my brother bought me those games. My big brother, and I love the games to pieces. And I was, really bummed going through a rough time in my life. I was just browsing the internet, which I probably wouldn't have much longer because I was worried about where I was going to live and everything. And I started looking up silly Phoenix Wright parody videos because the games had such a special place in my heart, and, it was just kind of a comfort thing. And I came across this video, and it was someone had done a few frames to Triforce Bun's song, It's Gotta Be the Butts. And it was all downhill uphill from there.
Was that
Wait,
Otaku
both of those are
Boxes?
bad.
I think that was hers that you
It
might
was
have seen.
Deja.
That was the
Deja.
first. Oh, Deja's?
Yeah, but Triforce Bun's song, It's Gotta Be the Butts. And it made me laugh. And when I had been in such a bad downer mood, I didn't want to be happy about anything. And that made me laugh. I was like, this is so perfect. It's amazing. I looked up the project. I got completely into it. I just started offering my services. Originally, I just came as a script editor before I took over the whole project.
Coop, it's a coop.
Coup de grace. And I was blown away. You know what? It's my turn to talk. I had my turn. You had your turn. Let me talk.
Guys.
So, she's so rude to me. God, you're fired.
Guys.
But, it was really nice because I walked into those forums, and I swear to you, everybody, it was like Pleasantville. Everyone's so nice to each other, and everyone's like joking around and having a good time, and no one's like being a jerk to anyone.
Yeah,
don't have trolls.
I was like, how is this the internet? What's going on? Where am I? I don't think I'm in Kansas anymore.
Is this the real life?
Yeah, it was really surreal, and I think
fantasy.
the reason I continue to work on it is just because I've met such wonderful, really, really talented people, and I just can't pull away from it because I have such positive feelings towards it. And even when it gets really hard and frustrating and we don't think stuff is moving forward, I just have these really good feelings towards everyone on the project and towards what it kind of stands for. So I can't really drop it. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, even when we're really mad at each other, for, something's not getting done or this person's, having trouble or, something's not being handed in time, no matter, like, how bad it is, we're really never mad at each other. It's like, we're like, okay, well, that really sucks, and I'm kind of mad, but, and we can, like, still talk to each other about it, out of context, or, like, it's like, it's kind of weird like that, but I wouldn't really trade it in for anything, so.
I mean, everyone knows that I try to murder Try on a daily basis, and yet that doesn't stop us from being BFFs.
Of course. I have a voodoo
Right,
doll.
Try?
That's right.
He's so happy.
That's right, she tries to murder me. It's funny.
Try's like, oh, pleady.
Oh, pleady.
He's gonna go write a song about how we're best friends.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, I give him a keyboard that has dynamite in it. It's very Wile E. Coyote in the Roadrunner.
Oh my gosh, the keyboard. It'll be the oh yeah key.
No, it's the come on. Try. You know that keyboard that makes the sounds, and you like the the keyboard that makes the sound, the like DJ sounds, and you like the one that goes come on or come on. It's one of those keys. You hit those and it explodes.
Oh. Wait. Where can I buy this keyboard?
Guys, interestingly enough, it's actually his girlfriend's, which is Mia Fey's. So Mia Fey has the keyboard that Phoenix Wright likes to make go, come on! Oh, yeah.
Funny enough, there's actually a YouTube video of me telling Try that he has a problem and he has to stop with the keyboard.
Okay,
like
so
talking
this
to
is
him
a
like
bit
he
of a
has a drug
tangent,
addiction.
but my wife has this keyboard too, right? And
really?
There is a button that just says dictionary.
Yes! That's the one!
Can someone please explain to me what the dictionary button's about?
We don't know. We've tried to figure it out. Try has pressed that button so many times and we can't figure it out.
Because my wife will be in the other room grading compositions for class, right? And I'll just go in and push the DJ button, just start playing dictionary. Yeah.
Yeah, see that video? That's Try and
He has the keyboard.
He had the same keyboard. That's
I wonder
awesome.
if that's on my keyboard.
Next question. Okay, this is from Kay from Animazement.
Kay, all right.
Kay, fair
I remember her.
It's Kay.
And she would like to know. This is for all the cast members. Is there anything you have in common with your character, or do you ever find yourself acting like your character?
Okay, I guess we should go in the order they put up then. Okay, so well, funny enough, I play Maya Fey, and Maya's kind of famous for being really short. I'm 4'11", so I'm like an inch shorter than her, for one. I absolutely love burgers. I am a burger connoisseur, even, one could say. My older sister is a lawyer. She graduated from UCLA Law and Harvard Law. My older sister is also about the same body type as Mia.
Also, your family?
Oh yeah, also my family is filled with crazy old ladies who swear they're psychics. Like, none of the people in my generation believe it, but like, the old ladies like swear we're psychics and all that. I do have a cousin who's the same age difference from me as Pearl and Maya. And her mom is kind of crazy. Funny enough, all of those things. And most of all, I really liked that Maya she was weird, you know? I like that about her, that she wasn't cutesy. Like, her cuteness came from her being weird and quirky and saying kind of off-the-walls things, or having moon logic, where, like, it seems like her logic skips a step and you're not sure how she got there. Because I relate to that a lot, you know? And it's like, I've never felt, like, especially pretty or cute or anything like that. But, you know, anytime I felt like I've been charming, it's been completely accidental. I'm just kind of a weirdo, and I guess sometimes it's endearing. I mean, people hang out.
How charming.
People do musicals with me, so.
She really is Maya, trust me. She's Maya.
I love Maya Fey's character. Okay, I guess. Oh, then Maxie's turn.
I'm not really a voice actor, though.
Oh, okay. Try's turn.
I guess I'm kind of like Phoenix, because Phoenix is sort of, I'm not really the normal one, though. Phoenix is kind of the normal one, and I'm sort of, I guess, a little odd.
College Phoenix, don't lie.
I am College Phoenix. I mean, that's exactly who I am. In fact,
you have the sweater.
No, I don't have the sweater. I need to get that, though.
Your girlfriend needs to knit it for you.
Sarah has
Come on,
been
who's gonna know? Just tell them you have the sweater.
Try's like, I can't lie, just like college.
I can't lie. I see, I'm like Phoenix because I'm after the truth, you know. all about honesty and whatnot. In fact, I actually got this letter today from this thing asking about send in money for my independent business, and looking online, it turned out to be a big scam. Like, it's this giant thing going on. So I ended up calling the police. No, really. And there was a number on the letter that I called and kind of chewed out the people there. I'm like, what are you doing with your lives? So
Please tell me.
Hold on, Try. I'm gonna do a reenactment of you. Joel, be the cop. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, pal.
This Nigerian prince is offering me all this money, and I don't think it's on the up and up, because I didn't earn it, officer. Also, listen to my keyboard. Dictionary.
Come on.
Thank you for your service. Click.
I'll be the keyboard.
Yeah, that's great.
It was weird, but I do relate to Phoenix a lot. But that's kind of a cheat though, because I think the player's supposed to relate to Phoenix. He's got kind of the kind of snarky responses that everyone's kind of thinking when they play the game.
Well, Phoenix was also an art major in college, Try.
That's true. And he plays the piano, but I'd like to think I play the piano a little better than he does.
I don't know,
And in
Try.
Turnabout Musical, he sings.
Guys, Try's a really good pianist, but he can never remember how to play his own songs. So he is like Hobo Phoenix. You get him in front of a piano and he'll like start playing something and go, wait.
Wait,
Then I just switched to the DJ mode.
Who's next? Oh, Tom. Harmonize.
Oh, putting me on the spot all of a sudden.
No, it's the order.
I don't know. I don't.
Are you a
think
crotchety
I'm-
old man?
Yes.
Well, okay, so yeah, that's sort of the consensus on the project. That probably the biggest way in which I resemble Von Karma is that I am a crotchety old man in a young man's body. In my case, I sort of like, like people will get up to pranks or whatever, and I'll just be like sitting there and being like, oh, rebel, rebel, rebel. These kids and their hula hoops and their skateboards and their rap music and their Pokemon.
I blame the internet and the resurgence of swing music.
Yeah. I don't think I'm very much like Von Karma other than that. I am a little bit of a perfectionist, but not in the same way that he is. Like, he's a perfectionist in that, like, everything he does he considers to be, like, inherently perfect, and if anything ever threatens that reality, he shoots it.
Or tases it.
I'm more like... And this has actually been kind of a problem for me while I've been working on the script and recording lines and doing some other stuff for the project. If I do something and then I sit there and I'm like, oh, it's really, it could be better if I did it this way. I don't know. And I bat it around for a long time. And if I can't get it perfect, I tend to just kind of be like, oh, well, I don't want anyone to see this. So it often... I don't get a first draft out there because I'm embarrassed by it, and so I kind of have to force myself to be willing to share imperfect things that I think have flaws and get constructive criticism on them rather than just being like, well, this isn't any good, I'm not showing this to anyone ever.
Aram, that's just early Von Karma. Just wait until your rage builds and you get older and more crotchety, and soon you will just shoot people. You do work for Microsoft.
Yeah. I'm sure by the time I'm 65, I'll have my own personal hitman or something. We'll work something out.
You mean you don't already? Dude.
I know, it's such... I can't believe they don't give
expensive.
one
This economy.
complimentary hitman upon hiring. That's all I ask.
Listen. When you're hiring hitmen, it's all about volume. You gotta work with volume. That way you can really establish a business base and apply your hitmen to a large number of people there. It's about volume.
Well, but if you have volume but not quality, though, you don't have actual hitmen. You have mooks from, like, a ninja film who will, fire...
No, you don't have mooks from a ninja film. How many times do mooks from a ninja film actually kill people?
That's what
Wait, on accident or on purpose?
On purpose.
Well, yeah, it depends if you count the accidental team kills they get on one another.
Anyway, I think the other actors might want to answer.
Okay,
yeah, sorry. I suppose we should let the little people...
You're a snotty little kid who demands the hot dogs from Larry.
I play Maggie Bird, and because I'm married to Joel, who plays Gumshoe, that in and of itself, I think explains it. But yeah, I'm pretty well just Maggie. The same as Joel was always Gumshoe, no matter how many recastings we did. No matter what, he ended up Gumshoe. I ended up with Maggie.
Intimidating how everybody had like this awesome answer, and now it's coming up to us, and we're like, I kind of like ramen. Yeah, I'm married to Gumshoe.
And those two pictures, yeah.
Hey, at least you have
the son, we dressed him up as the Blue Badger when we went to Icon. They made his costume for him.
But you forgot to mention that you guys look like them too.
Yeah.
That's us.
Personally, I think Pleady
it's
looks
pretty
like
much
Maya.
them.
I think
I
Pleady
don't
does.
really look. I guess a little bit.
You kind of look like
Pleady does look kind of like one.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, thanks, guys. I don't know if that's good or bad, since she's like the one character in the game they always say isn't pretty.
No, only Hottie though. The crazy patient from Hottie doesn't say that.
You gotta impress that guy.
I know, my life is ruined because I can't impress that guy. Why can't I just shoot
even
everybody?
Aaron impresses that guy.
Von Karma would have shot Hottie because he wouldn't have liked his picture.
I'll show you.
Okay, so Edgeworth, what do you have to say, MM?
Oh lord, why am I always the last one to be put on the spot like this?
You're the last one on the list.
Hey, technically I haven't gone yet, pal.
Oh, go, Gumshoe. Sorry, Edgeworth tried to cut in front of you, as usual.
Oh, so Edgeworth does want to be last. No, so, I mean, like I said, it's kind of intimidating how everybody has this awesome answer, and, my answer is going to be something along the lines of, yeah, I like ramen, and I eat top noodles, and top ramen, and a cup of noodles. But I would say one of the things I have in common with Gumshoe is he's very dedicated to the people that, that he considers his friend. And that's kind of the way it is with me and my friends. I don't have any friends that I've been friends with for less than 15 years. So I've got a very small circle of friends, but they all know I'm extremely loyal, and then I'll go to bat for them. So.
Are you a tinkerer too, though?
Yeah, you like technology too, like Gumshoe.
Yeah, that's pretty true too. Yeah, I don't know if I remember Gumshoe being big on smartphones. That's kind of my thing. Smartphones.
Well, he probably would be if he could afford them. I mean, he loves technology. He loved the bug sweeper he made, and he knew all about those lockers.
Tried to buy that moped.
That's a good point. And Gumshoe always has help from people, and he's coming up with his answers too.
Maya sitting there going, "Come on, Gumshoe."
And I like ramen, pal.
Oh Lord. I think it's safer to go with how I'm not like Edgeworth. I look nothing like him. I do not have a haughty, slightly subtle British accent. I am not deathly afraid of elevators.
Do you wear a lot of purple?
Yes.
I do not. I do not.
He does have a lot of fangirls, though.
That's not my fault.
That is true.
It's not Edgeworth's fault either.
I don't know.
Yeah, it really isn't Edgeworth's fault either, so you have that in common.
Yeah, I have a large vocabulary.
You are a sophisticate, my good man.
You come off pretty pretentious to people who don't know you.
I do what now?
I remember
that was a compliment.
I remember when I first started talking to MM on AIM, I was like, man, this guy must think I'm really dumb because he talks he's so pretentious and all that. And then I met him in person. I was like, oh no, you're totally down to earth and awesome. You just type that way.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've talked to people like that on AIM where I'm because I usually I don't worry so much about punctuation, capital letters.
How dare you, sir?
Oh, it's
and then
not
I'll talk to
just
someone
that.
who's using complete 100% proper grammar. And this is speaking as a professional copy editor. I don't do that. Completely understand where you're coming from there.
Who could you be talking about, Paul?
Yeah, Paul.
Sorry.
Paul's like, I hate
Paul.
You guys are such bullies.
TM's job.
That's TM's job.
It's
okay, Paul. I vouch for you. Because, Paul,
Thank you.
I'll be there when you need a friend. I'll be there to support
Don't encourage him. Don't.
See, Mike, I do have friends. I told you.
Look, it works as well on him as it does for Try. Lying is great.
So how about the next question? We got a few more. All right, this is from Keltena. This is again for the individual voice actors. If you could play any character, regardless of voice type or gender, who would you be most interested in? The one you're already playing is a valid answer if they're your first choice.
I love Maya. I'm really glad to be playing Maya. I worked so hard. I was her understudy originally, and I played Cody Hackins, who I portrayed as Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. Pretty much it was like the Steel Samurai brings another guy down. But eventually I did become the Maya voice actor through a series of many events, and I cried when I got the part, and I was so, and I don't cry because I'm a man. I'm a manly man. Or the manliest. One may say so manly that that's why the rest of the guys on the project are kind of girly, except for Joel, because he's Gumshoe and he's a man. I absorb all their testosterone, just like Aram absorbs all of our crotchetiness. I absorb the manliness. So,
Since it's come up, I'd just like to say that I have always been Cleety's #1 fanboy.
I love you,
really
Joel.
has.
See, that goes back to the loyalty.
Since the beginning.
I always wanted her to be Maya, always. Ever since Triforce Bun released the song, the very first song,
Guy You Can Trust, I think.
Yeah.
Was that the first song?
Yeah, Guy You Can Trust. Ever since he released that song and I heard it and I sang it as Gumshoe and everyone was like, wow, he's Gumshoe.
Awesome, and his line.
I've always wanted to be Gumshoe, so.
Yeah, Joel, I have to say, just hearing your voice here, you sound exactly like how I hear Gumshoe's voice in my head when I'm playing the game.
Everybody actually says that.
Yeah, not surprised. So anyone else, characters you would like to play?
Should I just go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it, Try.
Go ahead, Try.
If I could play any character, Wait, I don't think they specified in the Phoenix Wright series, did they?
No, just in general.
They did not, but I think there was the underlying assumption.
I'd like to be Zoidberg, perhaps. But no, for Phoenix Wright, I'd like to be Matt Ungard. I think he would be fun to play. I think I'd like to play a villain. Wait, should I?
Sorry. I don't think it's possible
maybe we should spoiler warn that. Oh well, that was a spoiler. There we go.
No, I don't know. Try is so nice that I think he would make a great Matt Ungard. And I think if he like actually let his evil side out, it would be truly scary. So I like that.
Oh, thank you, Joel. Thank you very much. Also, he has my name. So who's next? I think it's.
Yeah, I think it would be me.
Sorry,
I'd like to have the chance to play everybody, actually. That would be so much fun. Especially Von Karma with my operatic soprano voice. That would be so entertaining.
My answer is actually pretty much the opposite of Try's. I sort of get, over the past 5 years or so, I've kind of been typecast as villains in most things I've participated in. I wish I had a better leading man kind of voice. I think it would be more interesting for me to perhaps once play like a Phoenix or an Edgeworth or something like that. That's not just mwahahaing all the time. I do like.
But your evil laugh is so good, though.
It is. It really is.
I don't think we've heard from you, Matt.
Yeah. I guess attorney-wise, I'd probably say either Godot, or I think I would have a whole lot of fun doing Luke Atme.
You and me both.
Zavari.
There we go. Fortune teller.
This is a great part about Phoenix Wright, is all the characters are so memorable. It just lends itself so well to a musical play. I think somebody said that earlier.
I want to revise my response. I probably wouldn't play anybody from the circus case. I was stuck on that for over a year because I was
I kind of hate the circus
I had to force
case.
myself to finish it, to move on.
Thank you. I don't like it either.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, wait, Michael Gray, did you and I argue about this on the podcast before?
I don't know. I know we argued about Phoenix. No, Mia was hitting on Phoenix at the end of Case 1.
Okay.
That's what we argued about.
One of the many things.
You don't remember what happens in the circus case, Paul. You can't argue about it.
No, it's been a few years.
You don't remember what happened.
I finally got through that case, I had to use a walkthrough, and I never do that on the first run through a game ever.
Was it my walkthrough?
Something online. I I have no idea. I just found one.
Could have been.
Could
have been. Yeah.
Michael Gray is the foremost walkthrough person for Phoenix. Okay,
yeah, I have no idea who wrote it. I paid no attention, unfortunately.
Oh, well.
I was just like, get me through this stupid case. That's all
You
I
only
care
cared about the plot beats. It doesn't matter otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
In case you missed my answer was
Yeah.
Larry Ladies Man.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be.
That's who everybody wants.
Gotta
to
be the boss.
Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna put the GameCola guys on the spot. What answers would you guys give, GameCola? Paul, who would you want to play?
Who would I want to play? Now, does this question assume that I have any amount of singing talent?
Yes.
It assumes that I can in fact sing.
Okay, fine.
And even
Or
if
none
you can't,
whatsoever.
it'll still be great.
Because if it didn't, I would want to play like a character that perhaps just had a speaking role.
Well, I think it's relevant. If you could
play anybody you wanted, who?
Phoenix has always been my top choice throughout the series, so I guess I'd probably go for him.
Nice.
For who?
Phoenix. Okay, sorry, Try. I would take your role.
Watch out, Try.
Oh man. He's got his eye.
What about you, Michael Gray?
I think I'll go for the judge. I don't think anybody's mentioned him yet.
Nice.
No, the standard judge or the Canadian judge?
I would do both because they're related.
I think
Wouldn't
secretly
that make the standard judge Canadian?
Yeah,
If they're
there's a
related,
Canadian judge.
one of them. Yeah, there's a Canadian one, but
They're
they're
like
related.
brothers or something.
Yeah, they're brothers.
They
but
were
one of
separated at birth.
Oh,
one
I
of them
see.
I'm
grew up in
guessing one
Canada.
to be raised Canadian and one
There's
American.
probably a fan fiction that explains it.
He went to college in Canada and picked up the accent.
Right.
There
That's
is
a
no
lot.
accent.
I can hear your Canadian-Mexican accent from here, you immigrant.
There is
what
no
about you, Mike
accent.
Ridgway?
Let's say a boot, and we do not live in igloos. Done.
I can't count how many people we possibly offended.
I'm offended by that, buddy.
Aww.
I'm not your buddy, friend.
Y'all not my friend,
guy.
buddy. Guy?
I'm not your friend, guy.
Y'all not my guy, buddy.
And it wasn't a podcast, it was a homicide.
Oh Lord, we've gotten stuck into an endless loop.
Are you first?
I'm not your friend, pal. Pal, get it, huh?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, Joel.
Pretty good, Joel.
Pretty good, boy.
Pretty good.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
So Mike Ridgaway.
Yes, I'm here.
What would your answer be? What role would you like to play?
I mean, I'd love to play Edgeworth just because that's like, it's a dream. It's like me saying, like, if there was ever a Nightmare Before Christmas musical, I'd like to play Jack. But
Edgeworth's a skeleton?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's going to spawn so much fan art, I'm sure.
Yeah. I honestly, that's the movie I have memorized. So.
You mean Edgeworth is as emo as Jack?
Maybe. But if I had to like pick one realistically, it'd be someone douchey because I'm really good at playing and emoting douchey parts.
So Edgeworth.
Red, white makes the rule.
F you, I love Edgeworth. He's the man.
I love him too. It's just a joke. We always love to pick on the characters.
No, I totally respect you guys. I'm thoroughly impressed by what you do. It's just like, you can't insult Edgeworth to me. It's just like...
No, we love Edgeworth as the socially stupid, and educated, but socially stupid and awkward man he is.
It hurts my soul to think of him any less than godlike.
Well, Michael, I think the best way to think of Edgeworth is like Batman. When he's at work, he's a crime fighter. When he's at work, he's a crime fighter. He's sophisticated. He always has a plan. He's awesome. No one can beat him. He's Batman. But when he gets home, he's not Batman. He's Bruce Wayne. If Bruce Wayne stayed home and trolled the Steel Samurai and argued about shipping.
I think Edgeworth cosplaying Batman is another fan art just waiting to happen.
Yeah. Let me just say, Mike, I very much approve of your comments.
I will defend Batman until my dying moment. Bruce Wayne does not exist anymore. It is just Batman in there. He does not refer to himself ever as Bruce Wayne. He refers to himself as Batman. Whenever he's thinking, it's like, okay, what do I have to do to further my my influence or my career as Batman to help with Gotham?
Edgeworth secretly would be a huge Batman fan, and that he's a huge Evil Magistrate fan. I think Edgeworth watches
but which
and relates
Batman are we
with Evil
talking about
Magistrate.
here? Which Batman?
Any Batman, even the dancing one. Edgeworth loves them all.
That Tuesday, the 1960s one.
Yeah,
I cannot see.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Like, I don't read the Batman comics, but I was raised on Batman the Animated Series, and that's
awesome show.
Yeah,
that was the best Batman to me, the animated series that they had.
And
the Warner's brothers.
You can totally edit this out, but to me, like, as far as Jokers go, it's only Mark Hamill. I mean, Heath Ledger did an alright job. Other people have done an alright job, but Mark Hamill is the Joker. Done.
Agree with that, actually. I can really agree with that.
Okay.
Next question.
Is Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton getting an English release? What do people think?
Yes.
I think there's still hope. Yeah.
I hope so.
I think there's hope. I'm not holding my breath because the game's going to come out like next year and I die from asphyxiation.
It's plausible.
I think there's hope. I really think there's hope. I mean, for one, Level 5 is the one handling the localization, not Capcom. So all these negative feelings you have towards Capcom for not releasing stuff lately has nothing to do with this game. This game is being released by Level 5 and therefore distributed by Nintendo. So Capcom doesn't even feature into it.
I think it will come out over here because Mega Man is not in it.
Yes.
That makes me sad, you know.
I'm kind of with Michael Gray on this. I really want it to. I'm also not holding my breath, but I think it would be wonderful. It would be great to have a game to play on my 3DS, for example. So seriously, we talked about this on a prior episode. I've had the 3DS since the summer. I have 0 3DS games.
Oh wow.
I've just
not even Ocarina of Time?
No, I already have it on N64.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Well, Mario's coming out next month.
I've been using it to play Ghost Trick, actually, which I'm sure a lot of people here will appreciate.
Ghost Trick!
Well, what about your free copy of Four Swords?
I dabbled in Four Swords. I'm not a huge Zelda person in general. I played it a little. Oh no.
Blasphemy!
Did I just make everyone sad?
Okay, well, I have some bad news for you then. Try and I discussed it. And Try and I discussed it, and you know what we decided our next musical should be?
Ghost Trick?
No, try tell him.
Ace Attorney Investigations.
Was it? It has something to do with Zelda? I kind of forgot.
Yeah, remember we were laughing about how there should be a Zelda musical, and I would be mad and follow you around.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Tell him, Try. What's our next musical? Was it gonna be
That wasn't
related.
I kind of forgot. Sorry, I kind of killed the moment there.
We had phone conversations about it.
I know we talked about this like 5 minutes ago, but speaking of, Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton, we did do a dub of the trailer as one of our fan projects too.
Oh yeah,
we did.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Nice.
The graphics
they all did really great.
Yeah, we were pretty.
But it was good.
We were pretty.
Where can we find this?
YouTube.
Yeah, they did a good job with the editing too, like making it cover the old voices really well.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed with how they did it.
My favorite line in that whole thing is when Professor Layton's all eloquently like, the law is not perfect and neither are its keepers. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, Phoenix. I don't like that top hat guy.
Yeah.
Wait, so do I sound like a 1980s nerd now? I don't like the top hat guy.
That's the voice I do if I'm doing anything other than Von Karma, basically. Just to distinguish them.
I don't like that. Awesome. Objection.
That was pretty good.
We're doing like Beavis and Butthead now. I have like an objection and stuff. This guy sucks.
No.
Yeah, he is.
Phoenix Wright versus Beavis and Butthead. Don't release that one here.
Hey, Beavis, check it out. Maybe he killed him with his butt.
That's actually a really good impression.
That's a really good impression. I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Good job, pal.
Try does great voices, but you'd never know it for how he does Phoenix, because he just does his own voice.
Oh, that was try. Do Kip. I always make him do Kip. Do Kip.
Do Kip? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have bones. I'm composed of a system of fluid-filled bladders.
That's pretty good, actually.
Oh, Amy.
Yeah, Kip
Okay, yeah, maybe we should move on to actual questions.
Question 4. Thank you, whoever said that.
That would be me.
Next question.
Thank you. Question 4. This is from Giselle6162 from the forums. That would probably be your forum.
I know her.
Ours, yeah.
Oh.
I vaguely recognize that series of letters and numbers.
All right, and the question is, your trip to Colorado? Well, what do you think was your favorite song that you did? My favorite was "I'll Be There, Pal."
Hey, that was mine too, pal.
Kind of a sad story. Okay, and a happy one. My forum ever was "There, Pal." That was a parody I did of Try's magnificent song "I'll Be There," and instead of it being between Phoenix and Maya, it's between Gumshoe and Edgeworth. And so, of course, when we were in Colorado, we reenacted it with Joel and Try because
I wasn't there yet.
Yeah, he wasn't there yet.
This was before my time.
To interrupt real quick, was this part of a panel?
No, it was a bunch of us fooling around in Joel's basement.
Yeah, we were taping.
It was.
Oh yeah, I was going to link one of those earlier. And by the way, I'm back.
Doing different songs.
That was an awesome, good time, even if it wasn't a panel. We had our own convention.
Yeah, pretty much. We had our own convention in Joel's basement. No. My favorite song, though, that came out of that trip was not "I'll Be There, Pal." It was, and you can see it in another, where Try is randomly playing on the piano, improvising with a stuffed animal. And if I can recall, and I could be wrong, but if I recall, I think the song went,
My name is Larry.
I'm not just a klutz. I am Nick's bestest friend until... And then as Edgeworth, I would go, I object! And then Nick likes me best. So don't forget, Nick, best as bodies, don't you be a fuddy-duddy. And then Try, completely changed the melodies, so I, had to suddenly change, and I was like, Nick, and I don't know the tune. But who cares about that, because we're gonna watch Futurama soon! And Edgeworth ended with, I object!
I forgot about that song. That song is my favorite, yes.
That was the best song of the whole trip. Try randomly playing around on the piano, and Larry the Lizard. It was a stuffed animal we had.
Yes, as voiced by Pleaty.
I think my favorite song that I heard, even though I wasn't there, was the one that you recorded for the Edgeworth alarm clock for use as an actual alarm clock, too.
Oh, I have that as my actual alarm clock.
Time to get your butt out of bed. Don't listen to Larry.
On the Colorado trip, I had a really good time doing August Day, which is the first song, and it pretty much involved everyone in the room pretty much playing different parts, and some of them involving, two different parts at the same time. I think Joel was was Furio Tigre and Gumshoe, and they sing like right after each other. So he had this trench coat.
He flipped his coat up for Gumshoe and took it off his shoulders for
It was creative casting. It was a lot of fun.
Stunt casting.
I like that Sarah was Penny and I was Cody, and like one of us forgot a line or something.
Hey, I found the link to that. Let me put
3,
it up.
2, 1, go!
These are going to be the most convoluted show notes ever. So many links.
Is that the last fan question? Do you guys have any questions for us?
Well, I wanted to go back to the question you asked about the Colorado trip. And this is the lesser-known Louisiana trip that I still have all the footage waiting on my camcorder for. We didn't sing so much as we did crazy random shenanigans, but there was one thing that was pivotal to our journey in Louisiana that I feel all Ace Attorney and every fan ever should know about.
No!
And that is an awesome movie that we watched.
Yes!
No.
Is this Pleady on Red Bull?
No,
Yes.
not either!
Oh, well, that's okay then.
No, I meant the thing we watched.
If Red Bull gives normal people wings, what does it give Pleady?
A rocket.
Gives Pleady the Flash's costume.
Yes.
My favorite movie.
Try, why don't you tell us about your favorite movie?
Spider's Web, A Pig's Tale. It's a CGI animated adventure based off.
That movie frightens me.
Came out the same time Charlotte's Web came out in theaters. It's like one of those low budget kind of ripoffs, you know, like they have the ones like based on Pixar. There's one called Ratatouille or something. This is called Spider's Web, and it's awesome. It's so good. I've seen it like 8 times. We all watched it, and we recorded commentary for it. And I got it for $3 off eBay, and you got to get it.
The other video they're talking about for my birthday, Maxie drugged me with Red Bull.
I didn't drug
I don't drink caffeine. I'm a very high energy person as it is.
In my defense, we were joking up late at night one night, and I'm talking like 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is where I lived at the time. She lived in California.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, so she lived in California at the time. And so we were joking late at night, like, you know how you can get married and there's like a wedding and a ceremony? How do you get brory? Like, you know, bro marriage? So we were talking and we said, Mountain Dew, Red Bull, and beef jerky. So what do? I bring all 3 to Louisiana. Apparently Red Bull makes Pleady black out. And I don't mean black out like pass out. I mean, she does random crazy stuff and doesn't remember any of it.
Try was at work, and I prank called him like 5-6 times, and he kept answering.
And I still have to upload the surprise party that you threw for him.
I threw him a surprise party? What else did I do?
It was awesome.
He put up videos of me on Red Bull that I can't remember.
Try, do you remember the surprise party where we thought the door was locked?
Yeah, with the balloons.
Yeah.
There were a lot of balloons. I like how you did nice things while you had no control, though. I mean, that was kind of cool, I guess.
Okay, guys,
when I'm sober, I'm a jerk, but when I'm
hang on, guys.
I think we might have hijacked this podcast a little too much.
Okay,
Maybe we should get back on track.
I mean, I just had a quick question for the GameCola guys. Why don't we have fun get-togethers with dancing and music and singing and movies?
We do at my place, Paul.
I emailed you trying to set up a new one. You never responded.
I did so.
You did not.
I'm sorry. I was too busy going to your goddamn wedding.
Paul, I think I have an answer for that. See, you guys are missing something very important that Turnabout Musical had at all of their trips.
A musical?
No. Pleady.
Yes, Pleady holds everything together.
Yeah.
A project musical get-together, so I think clearly...
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't going to be dragged. I know! You always forced me to go.
Well, see, what I think we need is a GameCola musical.
Yes. Try. Let's write it. Come on, let's do it. And by let's, I mean you write it, and then I'll take all the credit.
Okay.
That's
who's gonna play.
Usually happens.
Who's gonna play Paul?
I'll play Paul. He's the leader, right? So I'll play Paul.
I'll play Paul's beard.
Oh my god! And I could talk to Paul's. You be Paul's beard, and you like give me advice, and I'm like, shut up, beard.
Stunt casting at its finest.
Guys, let's move on.
Yeah, back on track.
Conscious.
Come on,
beard
guys.
is like, Paul, I don't think you should kill all those people.
Darling son wants
We had one more question on the website.
Well, I've got a new question though.
Oh, okay.
This will
Poor
be a
Matt
quick
Jonas
question.
is never going to get his question read.
On the next episode of the GameCola Podcast, episode 42, in a special 2-part podcast between GameCola and Turnabout Musical. Many questions have been asked, but many more questions remain. Which Phoenix Wright character should totally go out? Who will win the sing-off competition? Will Matt Jonas ever get his question read? Find out on the next exciting episode of the GameCola Podcast.